Joining us for more on tonight's topic is Jack Sullivan, a Venice resident who offered to put up his own money to remediate the original Venice Library. Luann Wood, she led the petition drive to postpone the closing of the Venice Library, and ABC reporter Christopher Brantley, who has been covering this story for a year now. Thank you all for joining us. And I guess it's amazing that this has gone on for so long without something in place at the moment in order for Venice residents to get their library back. And Jack, you know, what do you think? I mean, where did this go wrong?
The lack of notice before it was closed. The exciting thing is that your voice does matter in our community. And fortunately, we've had this channel covering the news so that people were more aware, even of our petitions that we were able to get people to sign. So the awareness went up, and your constant coverage has helped awareness of what has happened. But it was closed on an arbitrary and capricious basis and then backfilled all of the reasons why it was closed, except we didn't get any notice. This has been a really safe harbor for children in 3 different schools to come till their parents are finished work, and for folks to come and watch movies at night, people that use the library on a regular and consistent basis. It was a shock. Fortunately, it happened in the middle of the season, which was another shock. But we rallied the troops. Luann led the group. We have several people, engineers, that donated their time and effort, and we came up with a plan.
You know, Luann, despite maybe some missteps here, the fact is if mold is present, it presents a clear and present danger to people who would be there. I mean, a lot of people can get sick, especially people who already have, a certain kind of problems. And now it appears that the answer is to build a new building nearby. If the situation is, as Christopher reported in the story, that the mold is underneath the building, is there something wrong with the land around there that may cause something similar from happening again?
Well, I attended the county commissioners meeting on January 12th. And in their docket, they only had 2 documents. They had the lease of the property and staff's recommendation. There's a Pure Air report dated January 6, 2016, which was a very large report that said there was more mold outside than there was inside. And that was ordered by Sarasota County.
And how does that compare to other buildings, maybe in the same general area, or many buildings in Florida? After all, we tend to get a lot of rain. Well,
ironically, the Venice Community Center, which is in the same cultural campus, the city of Venice just gave $75,000 to remedy a mold issue there. So fundamentally, let's go back to the library for a moment and then the community center. Where is the accountability for Sarasota County's employees who are paid to monitor and fix mold as it occurs? You don't close a room off when you have mold, you remedy the problem in your own home. They haven't done that. So there's a question there of accountability.
Christopher, what kind of effort has there been to hold county officials responsible and to find out what they have been doing and when they have been doing it?
Well, as Luann has found, a lot of these reports have been put online. We've been given copies of these reports. I should point out that there is a building next to the library. It is an adjacent building. It is connected to it, to the library. It is sealed off because that room, was a large community room, had mold in it. Last year in May, the mayor and I went into that room, and you immediately can tell there's mold in there. Not only is it on the floor, it's in the air. And so you know that there's mold in there, and as you said, it's in the community center as well. They have released a lot of these reports saying that there is mold in there and that they have tried for years and years to remedy the problem, but have been unsuccessful because it keeps coming back.
So is it a wise idea to build a new library in basically the same location?
It'll be in the same block, so to speak.
Sure.
There's a lot of room in there, so they could tear down the original library. It's a matter of spending taxpayers' dollars wisely. Venice purchased this Hamilton building complex for $995,000. Subsequent to that, they've rented it to the county for $10. The county is spending $250,000 to make it ADA compliant plus other things, while this library is under consideration. Now it's been decided it'll be on the cultural campus. The land is fine there. The art center is there. The community center is there. The library is there. Lack of maintenance and discipline and follow-up has created the mold problem.
And I do want to point out that the building is 50 years old, the Venice Library. It had just celebrated, and correct me if I'm wrong, it had just celebrated its 50th anniversary. Largely to the county's point is, we got 50 years out of this building. We're ready to build a new one. And the members of the community that I went out and spoke to over the last 11 stories or 12 stories, and then went out this morning, a lot of them are very happy to have a new library with new amenities in it. It'll be much like the Gulfgate Library, which has all kinds of new computers and things of the nature. So the county's point is largely, we got 50 years out of this building. It has a problem. Let's tear it down and start again.
But Luann, as Christopher reported, you're spending $250,000 to temporarily make another building into a library. Do you think that this could have been done more efficiently and in another way?
There were no plans in place. The county commissioners made that decision on January 12th. The library was closed at the end of January. There was not one plan in place.
So there was just no planning.
Absolutely not.
And Christopher, let me ask you this. If the problem at this particular site is mold in the ground over the structures, how do you prevent that from happening again?
That would be the million-dollar question, and if we could answer that, we could probably get the contract with the county. But the main issue that they're talking about is, once that building is removed, if they want to build something on that building, they're going to have to remove feet and feet of soil and replace it with new soil, and then put some sort of plastic coating, and I can't remember the name of it, some sort of plastic coating down before they build the building on top of it to ensure that that moisture doesn't come in. As we said at the Venice Community Center, on the same site, they had the exact same underground problem.
Jack and Luann, we only have a couple of seconds left, but are you pleased or satisfied with, now that there seems to be an idea of where a new library will go and what the timeline will be?
Well, we're very pleased that the City Council voted it unanimously, and the County Commissioners also voted, but it would have slipped through the cracks if I had not gone to that meeting and got in touch with these people that have helped me. We got over 4,400 signatures just standing in front of the library.
Congratulations, Jack.
We're delighted that the people of Venice spoke up, and you folks have covered the story so that action happened. Otherwise, it would not have happened.
Good job, Christopher.
Thank you.
All right, thank you all for joining us tonight.